Modern Tropical Courtyard Home 2025. Open living with verdant green gardens. In 2025, the vision of tropical living evolves beyond simple walls and roofs. A home is no longer just a structure. It becomes a living, breathing extension of the natural world. This philosophy of design finds its purest form in the modern tropical courtyard house, where openness, greenery, and harmony create a daily rhythm of life deeply intertwined with nature. At its center lies the courtyard, the true heart of the home. This is not a garden tucked away to one side, but a sanctuary proudly positioned at the core, binding every room together. Stepping into it feels like entering another world, one alive with the soft sway of palm trees, stone paths winding gracefully across tranquil ponds, and layers of plants radiating vitality. The courtyard is not merely to be admired. It is a place to live, to gather, to pause, and to breathe in unison with the natural world around you. The experience engages every sense. Water trickles gently, carrying a calm melody through the air. Sunlight breaks into fragments across the leaves, creating shifting patterns that play upon stone walls. Bamboo stirs lightly, sending soft whispers across the space. This is not stillness, but movement, subtle, continuous, and deeply human. The courtyard becomes part of daily rhythm, transforming simple moments of rest or reflection into encounters with life itself. From this sanctuary, the living room emerges seamlessly. It does not seek separation but continuity. Vast glass walls rise from floor to ceiling, dissolving boundaries between inside and outside. With a gentle slide, the panels open, allowing the courtyard to flow into the living space. Underfoot, stone provides cool strength, while teak ceilings above radiate warmth and protection. It is less a room and more an extension of the landscape, a flowing dialogue between garden and home. This openness represents more than design. It represents a way of living. A tropical house does not resist its surroundings but welcomes them. It embraces sunlight as a companion, invites breezes as natural ventilation, and frames greenery as part of daily life. Morning light spills across the floor in golden hues, filling the home with energy. Afternoon winds drift gently, carrying fragrances of tropical flowers. Evening skies paint the walls with amber tones, turning the home into a glowing retreat. Every hour, every shift of the sky reshapes the space, ensuring it is never static but alive. The courtyard reflects this cycle. At midday, it glows with vibrancy, the leaves sparkling under the brilliance of the sun. As twilight falls, it softens, becoming a place of calm reflection. Water mirrors the colors of the fading sky, stone absorbs the day's warmth, and wood glows with the gentleness of evening light. This is not a scene to be viewed from a distance. It is a living environment, inviting you to step inside and feel its transformation with every passing hour. The architecture itself remains subtle, working in service of this dialogue with nature. Materials are chosen with intention. Stone grounds the home with permanence and coolness. Teak wood adds warmth, recalling traditions of tropical craftsmanship. Glass extends openness, erasing barriers, and allowing constant interaction with the garden. Together, these elements compose a balance of strength and softness, rootedness and lightness, elegance and humility. The result is more than a dwelling. It is a lifestyle. The living room feels alive because it breathes with the garden. The courtyard is not decoration, but the heartbeat of the home. Light, air, and greenery flow freely, dissolving stress and restoring calm in a way few modern environments can. Gatherings held here feel elevated by nature's presence, conversations framed by open skies and tropical leaves. Moments of solitude gain new depth, softened by the textures of wood and stone, touched by shifting sunlight. Every corner of the space seems to exhale with you, creating luxury, not through excess, but through connection. Step back and observe the entire composition, and its philosophy becomes clear. This is not architecture that seeks control, but architecture that opens itself, giving space for nature to lead. The courtyard and living room together form a single rhythm, a continuous heartbeat between built form and natural life. The message is simple yet profound. Modern living finds its highest luxury not in isolation but in openness, not in walls but in air, not in separation but in harmony. Here lies the meaning of tropical living today. A home that feels alive, that shifts with time, that reminds us of our bond with the earth around us. A home where luxury is redefined as connection, seamless, beautiful, and endless. Beyond the central courtyard and the flowing living spaces, the tropical home of 2025 continues to unfold in ways that honor both tradition and modernity. Every room, every corner, every transition is designed not only for function, but for experience. A careful orchestration of comfort, openness, and harmony with the natural world. The architecture does not merely provide shelter, it shapes a lifestyle where each space carries meaning and breathes with its surroundings. The bedrooms of this home are sanctuaries of rest, crafted to dissolve the barriers between interior comfort and exterior life. Wide glass doors open onto verandas where tropical plants stretch upward, offering privacy and connection at the same time. The first light of dawn filters through soft curtains, accompanied by the quiet rustle of leaves. Night falls with the sound of distant water and the gentle sway of bamboo in the breeze. Wooden surfaces bring warmth, while stone and natural fibers provide grounding textures. Sleep here becomes more than a pause in the day. It becomes a process of renewal, guided by the calming presence of nature itself. Bathrooms embrace the same philosophy of openness. They are not hidden or confined, but transformed into wellness retreats that invite natural elements indoors. A rainfall shower opens toward a private courtyard framed by bamboo. A freestanding tub rests beside a wall of glass, offering views of greenery or even the night sky. Basins carved from stone and shelving crafted from teak merge function with timeless design. Soft daylight filters in through clerestory windows, while natural ventilation keeps the air fresh. The experience of bathing becomes an act of meditation, a quiet conversation between body, water, and earth. The kitchen and dining spaces extend this seamless dialogue between living and nature. The kitchen is bright and open, where daylight pours in across stone counters and wood cabinetry. Cooking unfolds as a ritual surrounded by warmth and light, while woven fixtures create a gentle glow in the evenings. Dining areas expand outdoors, where tables rest beneath shaded terraces and meals are shared in the company of open skies, flowing breezes, and the fragrance of tropical plants. Eating together here is not an enclosed ritual, but a celebration of connection, both with people and with the environment. The tropical courtyard home also addresses the evolving needs of contemporary life. Workspaces, now essential in the rhythm of daily living, are not relegated to dark corners, but positioned in places where clarity and inspiration can thrive. A desk might overlook a garden, a studio might open onto a shaded veranda, and every workspace is bathed in natural light. Work here is not an isolated activity, it is part of the flow of life, harmonized with the sights and sounds of nature. In such an environment, productivity is nourished by calmness rather than drained by confinement. Sustainability is not a surface gesture, but an essential framework of the home. Cross-ventilation ensures that air circulates naturally, reducing reliance on mechanical cooling. Deep eaves and screens protect against harsh sunlight, allowing interiors to remain cool without exclusion of light. Roofs are designed to host solar panels, subtly blending into the overall form. Rainwater harvesting sustains ponds and gardens, while native plants minimize water usage and invite birds and butterflies to inhabit the space. Sustainability here is not imposed, it is integrated seamlessly, making the home a living system in balance with its environment. There is also a cultural continuity woven into the home. The use of teak, rattan, bamboo, and stone is not only a design choice, but an acknowledgement of traditions carried forward through centuries of tropical building. The courtyard itself reflects an ancestral pattern of communal gathering, now reimagined for modern needs. The architecture respects its roots even as it innovates, creating a dialogue between past and future that enriches the living experience. As day fades into evening, the transformation is striking yet subtle. Lighting is soft and intentional, concealed within wooden beams, glowing beneath stone surfaces, or hidden among garden plants. The courtyard becomes a glowing lantern at the center of the home, shimmering with reflections from water and silhouettes of trees. Spaces for dining or resting shift naturally into spaces for reflection, conversation, or quiet solitude. The transition from day to night is effortless, allowing the home to adapt fluidly to different moods and rhythms. What defines this home more than its materials or its layout is the emotional resonance it creates. In a world where many environments feel rushed, dense, or disconnected, the tropical courtyard house provides the opposite: openness, calmness, and belonging. It restores the fundamental balance between human life and natural cycles, reminding its residents that peace is found not in excess, but in connection. Luxury is redefined here as the ability to breathe freely, to live slowly, and to experience beauty not as spectacle, but as part of everyday existence. Taken together, the bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, dining areas, and workspaces extend the vision of the tropical courtyard home far beyond its heart. They carry the same principles of openness, sustainability, and cultural respect into every dimension of life. Each room is not merely a function to be fulfilled, but a state of being to be experienced. This is design as philosophy, as lifestyle, as a way of shaping how people live, feel, and interact. The tropical courtyard home of 2025, then, is not just a design trend or an architectural style. It is a holistic response to the modern condition. It answers the need for comfort, for work-life integration, for environmental responsibility, and for emotional grounding. It reminds us that the spaces we inhabit shape our minds, our health, and our relationships. And in its seamless blending of nature and architecture, it points toward a future where homes are not fortresses but ecosystems, alive, adaptive, and endlessly connected. As we step into the final layer of the modern tropical courtyard house, the vision expands into a broader reflection on lifestyle, culture, and the future of design. This is not just about walls, rooms, or materials. It is about how people live, how they connect with their surroundings, and how architecture becomes a philosophy of balance. In 2025 and beyond, the courtyard home is more than a physical space. It is a model for how we can reimagine comfort, sustainability, and human connection in an ever-changing world. One of the most striking qualities of this home is how it redefines luxury. In the past, luxury was often measured by scale, by how much was owned, or by how much could be displayed. But here, luxury is not about accumulation, it is about refinement. It is about simplicity executed with clarity, where every detail feels intentional and every element speaks of authenticity. A single well-placed opening that frames a tree can feel more valuable than an entire wall of ornamentation. A moment of silence by the pond can hold more richness than the noise of endless excess. This home proves that true luxury lies not in abundance, but in connection. To air, to light, to greenery, and to the people who share the space. Trends in architecture today lean toward flexibility, and the tropical courtyard home embodies this principle beautifully. Spaces are not rigid. They adapt to different times, moods, and needs. A shaded veranda may be a place for breakfast in the morning, a workspace in the afternoon, and a lounge for conversation in the evening. The courtyard itself transforms with the day, offering vibrant energy at noon and deep calm at dusk. This fluidity reflects the way modern life unfolds, dynamic, flexible, constantly shifting, and offers a home that grows with its residents rather than confining them. Technology also finds its place here, but in ways that serve rather than dominate. Smart systems may quietly adjust lighting as the sun sets or manage ventilation in harmony with natural breezes. Water features may recycle rainwater, and energy systems may store solar power for the evening. Yet none of this intrudes on the aesthetic of simplicity. The technology is invisible, integrated, and always in service of the home's relationship with nature. It enhances the experience without ever overpowering it, ensuring that the focus remains on the courtyard, the garden, and the rhythms of daily life. Community is another dimension that this design nurtures. The courtyard, while central to private family life, also becomes a setting for gatherings that strengthen social bonds. Neighbors, friends, and extended families are drawn into spaces that are open, welcoming, and grounded in nature. In this way, the home is not only a private retreat, but also a cultural connector, embodying the timeless tropical tradition of hospitality, Meals shared beneath open skies, celebrations framed by greenery, and quiet conversations in shaded corners all contribute to a sense of belonging that extends beyond the walls of the house. Looking toward the future, the tropical courtyard home represents a shift in how we understand sustainability. It is not limited to technical efficiency or environmental performance. It is a way of living that places ecological awareness at the heart of daily experience. By using native plants, by maximizing natural ventilation, by embracing solar energy, and by minimizing unnecessary consumption, the home becomes an active participant in environmental stewardship. More importantly, it teaches its residents to value and enjoy this sustainable lifestyle, proving that ecological responsibility and aesthetic beauty can coexist seamlessly. Cultural identity also plays an essential role. The tropical courtyard home draws from ancient wisdom while shaping a modern narrative. The courtyard itself has been a symbol of gathering and balance across generations, and by placing it once again at the center of living, the design pays tribute to heritage even as it redefines it. Materials like teak, bamboo, and stone are not just functional. They carry stories of craft, of tradition, of human hands shaping natural elements into enduring forms. Living in such a home is not only comfortable, it is deeply meaningful, grounding the present in the strength of the past. At night, the philosophy becomes most visible. Soft lighting, hidden in stone edges or woven fixtures, allows the architecture to fade while the garden glows. The courtyard reflects the stars, turning into a mirror of the universe above. Spaces that were alive with movement during the day become sanctuaries of stillness. This nightly transformation reminds us of the cycles we too are part of rest, of renewal, of continuity. Architecture here does not fight against time, it flows with it, teaching those who dwell within its walls to embrace rhythm rather than resist it. Ultimately, what this home offers is freedom. Freedom from confinement, from the stress of rigid environments, from the disconnection of sealed walls. It invites its residents to live in openness, to breathe more deeply, to feel the touch of sunlight and breeze every day. It reminds us that our well-being is tied not only to what we own, but to how we live, how we connect, and how we allow ourselves to exist as part of a greater whole. The tropical courtyard home of 2025 is not just an architectural trend, it is a cultural statement. It tells us that the future of design lies not in building taller, heavier, or more isolated structures, but in creating lighter, more open, and more connected ones. It is a vision where architecture steps back, where ego dissolves, and where nature once again takes its rightful place at the center of human life. This philosophy carries a lesson for the future of all design, that true progress is not about detachment from the environment, but about deeper integration with it. It is not about isolating people in boxes of concrete and glass, but about giving them homes that breathe, homes that change, homes that remind them of their place within a living world. The tropical courtyard house is a model for this future, one that shows us that the path forward is not separation but connection, not more walls but more openings, not dominance but harmony. In its openness, its simplicity, and its respect for the earth, the tropical courtyard home redefines how we live in the present and how we dream about the future. It is architecture that feels alive, that evolves with every hour, that whispers the timeless truth. The greatest luxury we can create is the chance to live fully in balance with the beauty of nature.